Today, I followed one of the flying things. They eventually break out of the eggheads on their own, often taking 30 minutes or so to wipe the gore off of their slimy bodies with their squiggly legs before they take it to the air. They have never shown any aggression or any acknowledgement that I exist. They just flutter away like they've got somewhere to be. And apparently they do. It was a Walmart parking lot. I witnessed another hatching. The egghead was stumbling between cars, crawling at its own face, reaching feebly out of passerbyers as if it still thought that it could be saved. It hadn't hit the ground before its featureless face started to crack audibly. Pink goop dribbled out like a raw yolk. It collapsed onto the minivan and slumped limply on the pavement as the big hunk of its scalp popped off with a wet, solid crunch. The thing inside was throbbing, swelling up like a puffer fish to puff open or push that was once a human skull. It just throbbed and squirmed its way out of a ruptured cranium, looking like much as the wet, rubbery horsefly made out of chewed gum, or an inverted brain with the membrane's wings. Its branching limbs stretched out like night crawlers, barely supporting its bloated, rugose body. The wings trembled, almost cautiously at first, before it's even blind to leap into the air, and smacked wetly onto the ground. It was a dud. It took another shot at flying, awkwardly bobbing its feet a few times before it dropped like a rock with another pitiful, wet smack. I laughed pretty hard when the visible monsters were devouring the human race, and nobody cares. You tend to take whatever entertainment you had get. And then it took off again in the same direction, landing itself on the hood of the Jeep. The little guy was determined. That's when it dawned on me. The opportunity I had stumbled upon, they always disappeared into the sky before they could even get the sense of their direction. But it could easily be tail on this one tiny foot. I figured most worst case scenario was I see nothing and I have to take the bus back down. As luck would have been, his destination isn't first. I came across to get close to giving up, waiting for the damn thing to correct itself every 10 to 15 feet, watching it pummeled like a bent paper airplane and floundered like a dying fish for a minute at a time. But not an hour has passed before I learned its little secret. Half a mile from the crumbled remains of Egghead, Port O'John, between the magic doors, garnished advertisements, mutant snack food, and odd shit that I can't even begin to get into. I'd never stopped thinking about the bright blue, portable toilets that seemed unusually common as of late. I never needed one, with this seemingly propeller to road work guzzling out of tax dollars as for as long as I lived here, as if it wasn't all that strange of a sight. The grimly plastic door quietly swung open as the brain bug flopped closer. I fidgeted at distant interest, doing my best to pass as obvious as everyone else, but snuck quickly to glance to the open honeypot. As the brain fly, I decided to dub them. It was really careening down along the dark tunnel, stretching as far as the eye could see. All somehow contained a single small portable shithouse. Nothing unusual these days. As my way back to the car and drove the rest of the way home, the only thought persisted: I had to know. Reality was unraveling around me. Former neighbors were fighting, and down the streets of the rancid mouthfuls of fish guts, giant hamburgers were lighting up the sky on the neon signs that dwarfed the entire buildings. They were eating people from the inside out, and I wanted an answer. Even a hint, any lead I could find. I didn't suspect that there was anything I could do, and any day now, I will wake up yet another deluded zombie, another gluttonous slave to their deep-fried maggots and pickled eyeballs. They could grind me up and serve me at buffets for all I care. I just had to know where that damn tunnel went, where the brain-eating bastards were really going. I laid awake that night, my mind racing with images of alien motherships, parallel realities happened subterranean cities. Tomorrow, I'm going in. Either I'll die knowing one piece of the puzzle, or I somehow kick their gooey little asses. Who's to say they'll even prepared for an intruder? Even if they have got us all fooled, I don't expect there to be some kind of hero. But so far, I'm the only one. I know who has a shot at trying.